trying to keep it consistent is also a challenge. And it's mostly rhythmical stuff that's in that, you know. So when you, it has kind of a 2 against 3 rhythm. Have you talked about that?
Yeah.
Yes, ta-ta-ta, right? A lot of that is happening, which kind of throw things off sometimes. But you've done a really, really good job of that. If you had your 6th string down to D, there are some other cool things that you can do here in terms of the Rasgueados, and we can still do it. We'll get into that. Okay, so the first thing that struck me, so those are all the things that I liked. Now let's talk about the things that need a little bit of work. Can you play for me from here? Okay, one more time. One more time. Okay. Is there a reason you're not playing that note? F sharp.
I might have forgotten.
Okay, can you try it again? You're going, and then what are you doing? Okay. So it's coming a little bit late, but I'll tell you what's the reason why I stopped you there. This art, I love the articulation that you're doing there. Short, long, right? Part of that rhythmic grouping then happens here, but you're not doing the staccato here. So we have, let's see, from here. You went. How about if you did? Because then squares away. Right? And then here you can, because there it's a final end of the phrase there, and then you can hang on to that. You know what I mean? So it would sound nice if you would do a I'm sight reading this. Make sense? Okay. So, do you have a pencil or something? I can mark these things in. So, when you didn't play it, my ear went up because I was expecting it. So when I didn't hear it, I said, "Oh, what's happening? Did she miss the note or something?" So I'm going to put the notation for that is a dot for that staccato. So I'm going to put it there, and you're putting it there. And generally it's a good idea because short, long is that you also indicate that the next note is long by putting a dash over top of the note, and then here. So let's try it slowly from here. Make sure you hold it long. One of the issues with playing notes short is that you end up in the next note a little bit too early. And you don't want to do that. You still want to maintain the rhythm, right? So we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3. Good. Now I'll give you some other ideas. It's kind of a very dance type of thing, and it's based on a chord progression. Do you know the chords to this piece? No? Okay. So, go ahead, play it, and I'll try to accompany you. Just that much. We'll keep repeating that phrase so you get it in your head. So here's the. So I want you to come in at the right place, okay? Almost, not quite. So I'm doing 1, 2, you come in on 3, okay? 3 and 1 and a 2 and a dee da da da. So. You to get it in your head, the rhythm. Got it now? Okay? All right. So what you want to do is create that rhythm internally, so you still feel like someone is playing with you together. You know what I mean? So you can get that. Okay, so this time we'll go on. 1, 2. Same thing there, right? Now there, it's very easy to lose the rhythm there. So that's the place that it's the 2 against 3 thing that I was talking about, right? So you've got so the rhythm doesn't break. Ba da 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 da. So I want you to treat that note as a pickup. So from here, if we take that sequence and we go. Accent that, because that note belongs to that phrase. The phrase ends there. So I'm just going to mark that this dash means that the phrase ends there. And then this, I want you to accent it so it feels like it's the pickup to that, right? So the melody. And not, because then what you do, you're adding a beat. You're going. So if I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but that's not what's happening there. That's what's happening there. And then it starts the new business. Okay? All right. So let's take it let's slow it down. Can you take it from here, from that pickup? Okay, try it again. Let's take it a little bit from here. Okay. I'd like you to make those 4 notes the same. So hang on to that note. Don't take your first finger off of there. Oh, you're switching there. Are you shifting?
Yeah, I'm shifting.
Why?
So that we say.
So if you do go here, and then what are you doing for this? Coming back here? Okay.
That's Frank's fingering so that you're coming down with the bass line in that chordal shape.
Frank who?
Frank Longang.
Okay. All right,
You
so
can-
I'm gonna say something here. It's not about right or wrong, but you as a player and a teacher, because you teach yourself, you know, when you sit down and you practice, you become your own teacher. You need to have very good, justifiable reasons for doing what you're doing. So if I ask you, why did you do that? You better have a really, really good reason. You know, well, I did this because of this or this, that, and so you know. And then it's fine, because then it makes sense for what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a baseline kind of thing, then my next question would be, well, if that's the reason that you want to maintain that chordal shape, why did you not do it here? Did you do it here? I wasn't watching your hand. Can you play from there? You did do it there. You do it. So you're doing it consistently. Okay, great, fantastic. Now here's the second curve ball I'm going to throw your way. There's a certain hierarchy when you're playing a piece of music. Okay, music hierarchy. Did you study with Frank?
I took the training with him, Suzuki
Okay.
training.
Oh, you
Yep,
did?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So music hierarchy, what does that mean? That means that there's certain things which we give more priority to. Okay? What do you think is the top priority when we're playing? What should be our top priority?
Maybe making it easier for you to play the.
Easier? No. No. Technically easier, you mean?
Yeah.
No. That could be the reason. That could be the way to do where I'm going to, the point that I'm going to make. Everything is trumped by how it sounds. Because if it doesn't sound right to your ear, then you need to fix the problem. Okay? Here, because the piece is fast, there's two things that need to be maintained. One is that this line have a very easy flow. Okay? And then I need to hear. Right? And what that's implying is this. Okay? So you have to ask yourself, can I maintain that flow so it sounds connected or legato and not disjointed if I'm doing this? Or you have to ask yourself, because there's a shift. Every single chord is a shift. So that was the third thing, right? The fourth thing. The fourth thing is the future. Today you're playing this at whatever, 72 or 89, and you know that your goal needs to be that it needs to be at 112. So you have to ask yourself, the technique that I have, is it going to be able to deliver the goods at 112 and still be musical? So our decisions about fingerings and techniques and everything comes from the top down, not the bottom up. Say, what is going to sound the best? So this is something that you need to work out with Jim, or your teacher, and asking that, if I play it faster, is it still? So just for the heck of it, let's just try it and see what happens from there. Can you play it here? D natural. Okay, try it a couple of times because it's a new fingering. Go ahead. Good. Now go back to your original fingering. Okay, so are you getting some sort of a feeling that one may be easier for you or not easier for you? Are you getting that? You're getting an idea a little bit, even though it's a new fingering? What's better for you, for your hands?
I feel like maybe just
Staying there, and this is a little bit laborious?
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing I want to make clear, there's nothing right or wrong about this. The other fingering is also good for the reason that Jim stated, that it keeps those chord forms. You know what I mean? But the ultimate question is, which one sounds better? And that's also going to vary depending on the person. The next person comes and plays the same piece, maybe this is easier for them to keep that fingering. So that's something you have to work out with Jim. Okay, now, your rhythms are very even, which is very difficult to do. So you have very good command of your technique. Excellent, outstanding, bravo, I compliment you on that. If you want to make these rhythms faster, whenever you have triplets, technical problems with triplets, the thing that you want, I'm going to give you 2 rhythms. Because it involves mathematically 3 notes. I'm going to give you rhythm number, I call this rhythm number 3 because there's 2 rhythms prior to this. It's an 8th note followed by 2 16ths, and then the opposite of that, which is 2 16th notes followed by 8. So if you were trying to solve this problem of shift and you were trying to make it smoother, it would be and the opposite of that, which would be okay. Let's try the first one. Since it's a new fingering and you're toying with it, go ahead. No, first one is. So what we don't want to do is change the articulation. So there's no pull off from the G to the F sharp, so don't add that in. Just a hammer on. Matter of fact, they're all hammer-ons, with the exception of this pull off. So you're gonna go. You would do the opposite, which is good. That's the idea, right? Now I'm going to give you some tips on practicing. Okay, here's my rule for practicing small segments. And you'll be amazed at how much you don't trust your own fingers and your own brain, right? Because you keep looking at the music. Whenever you're practicing small segments, never look at the music, right? I haven't taught this piece in 15 years. I think I can remember it just from doing that, right? So I want you to look at your hand and concentrate on the sound. So. technical. And the more picky I get with you, that means that you're a really good student. So I keep raising the bar. You know what I mean? If I said that's good enough, then that means, well, she can't handle it, so I'm gonna let her work on it and then maybe next time. You know what I mean? But the more tough I'm being, that should be a compliment. That, you know what I mean? Because the better the student, I keep squeezing them for more details, right? Okay, so let's try that again. And the detail is that don't let go of that C sharp. Okay. Fantastic, okay? Now, I'm going to give you some other ideas about what are some of the aids that you can use so you can really hear that, okay? So you can really hear that. And it's nothing, it doesn't have to be anything special, but I may have brought it with me. Cloth or handkerchief or Kleenex or napkin or anything?
I have napkins.
Napkin.
Perfect. I'll take it. So I actually have mutes that I've made from piano pads, okay? So what we do, if we want to hear the bass, you want to mute the treble strings. So it then magnifies the effect and you can listen more clearly. So I'm just gonna put this under your treble strings, and then you'll be able to listen to the bass strings really, really well. Okay, now let's try that same passage. The bass now more, right? So that's a good way of.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's a good way. Or you could do the opposite, you know, if you wanted to mute the basses, and let's say you wanted to hear the top part, then you mute the basses. Now go ahead and try the same passage. That's the idea, okay? Now, for memorization, I'm going to give you a crazy idea, which is going to really drive you crazy. Okay? Just close your eyes. Okay, same passage. Go ahead. Okay, now to memorize, why would I say do that? Why take the guitar completely out of tune so it changes every note?
Maybe then focus on just like the fingerings.
Exactly, because if you're depending on, see, the thing is that if you play a wrong note and then realize that you played a wrong note, already too late, you played the wrong note. The entire thing is to avoid playing the wrong note. And if you know your fingerings, then that's not gonna happen. But if you rely on the sound, then it's no longer a preventive measure. You know what I mean? So that's another thing you can do. I didn't do that much, but because we're in a master class. But why don't you tune back up and then we can go from there. Okay, so, so far, just to summarize, we talked about that staccato to be, consistent with what we did first. Then we talked about some possibly change of fingerings. You can work that out with your teacher, and see which one flows more. Then we talked about some techniques on how to practice those things, right? Now let's talk about this fun part, which is the rasgueados. So play for me the way you're playing it right now. Okay, so I'm gonna say that maybe. So there are many additions of this piece, but what you don't want to do is lose the element. It's kind of not like a classical piece. When it gets to there, it's kind of, it has that moving, dance rhythm. So I'm going to give you some shapes. So we're going. Okay? Or bum, you can go down there after. So. Let's see. Now, D major. These two, and then this. Yeah, that's it. Then G major. Same chord, and then back to B. Good. So I've got D, or D chord, A. Now, here's watch what I do. This is actually my guide finger, right? So you see how I'm sliding that to get into position? Now, all three are guide fingers, just moving the shape down. Good, and then. Yeah. So this can repeat several times. You don't have to go exactly the way it is, and you go. Exciting, right? Look on the audience again. Hey, everybody, you know what I mean? Yeah, so. Okay, so let's review those shapes, right? First one. Show you another technique of practicing and remembering shapes. So this one you know, this one you know, this one you know, this one you don't know, right? So we go from this note, no right hand. Just do this and this, back and forth. Yep, good. Then drop the hand, do it again, and then set a goal. Can I do this 10 times in a row, right? Just this part. Drop the hand, find it, boom, 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 back and forth. Boom. So this should be very butter-like, right? And then from there, we go to here, we do a bar chord, 3rd fret. Always know your positions. 3rd fret, same shape, 5th fret, good, and then back to D. And then make a little fun exercise, right? So you can go, okay, I'm gonna go very slow. And if that's your capacity, then I would stop there and then do it again. You know?
Near just another minute.
Okay,
before we
all right,
switch.
so let's try that. The arpeggio. Think. Good, right? So once you said that, then do something different, you know, maybe tremolo or something. You know what I mean? Just so you don't change the left hand, but you keep things interesting, and it will help you with your memory. And then, if we had time, then I'd show you that thing that I'm doing, right? Now I can give you some, you know, various Rusciato exercises. Okay. Any questions? Okay, good.
Can you do that pattern once slow for the video, then maybe we can
Yeah.
pick it up from there.
But it's not that rhythm, it's a triplet rhythm. I. And it's a good, because you know, classical guitarists never use this. I know it because I play flamenco. So the fanning that we call, you have to practice this first. Tigaradum, 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 tigaradum. And there are many other patterns that, you know, go along with it. But that's a very good exercise to make the thing strong.
And then this line, you would just do like harmonize in first position chords down there?
Yeah, you could stay there. Now, that I would do here because I probably from this rambunctious. And
Okay.
for the contrast, you know,
Yeah.
I would do a tasto.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. All right, great job. Excellent. Yeah, very good. Very good.